Good morning. This is our Weber County Commission meeting on the 6th day of November 2018. It's 10 o'clock. We have a full quorum today. Present to my immediate right is Commissioner Scott Jenkins, and to my immediate left is Commissioner Charles Jameson Ebert. I'm Jim Harvey. Our invocation this morning will be a moment of silence, and our Pledge of Allegiance will be given by Rick Grover. I'll wrap the moment of silence in just a moment with my thought, but we'll have that moment of silence right now, especially if you'll remember one of our local fallen heroes, Major Brent Taylor. In your thoughts. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Grover. Knowing about having this thought at the end of last week and then getting the horrific news on Saturday about the loss of Major Taylor has changed a few things, even inside of me. It is, unfortunately, oftentimes there are acts of terrorism. And sometimes within those we trust, as was the case with Major Taylor. This has a devastating consequence, not just especially forever for his family, but also his friends, his community, his country. May we all never forget every fallen hero, every veteran, every active military service member who has and is keeping us free so that we have the privilege of choosing. Mayor Taylor, in a recent post that was on his page I saw last night, it's very fitting on Election Day to remember that in this country there are more things that unite us than divide us. May we always remember that. Thank you. We'll move to item E on our agenda, which are public comments. If there are items that appear on the agenda or anything else that any of you in the audience would like to discuss with the Commission, we invite you to come forward now and to the lectern. If you'd come forward, state your name and your address. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Anything you'd like. We'll do that now. None being recognized, Commissioners. We'll then move to item F. Presentations. Our first presentation is from Weber County Commissioners' 16th Annual Weber County Fall Charity Golf Classic that took place up at Wolf Creek area. I want you to know that this was a golf tournament that is supported by local businesses and people in our area. Since its inception, with Commissioner Dearden, Commissioner Bischoff, and Commissioner Kane, I believe, this particular charity, not public funds, but Benefit charity has raised over $250,000. Those funds have been given back to local charities, those that can benefit here, and the money stays here. So this is an awesome thing that we do, and we invite you, all of you, to participate next summer with us in that if you'd like to perpetuate this type of action. Our first commissioners, our first check that we have today is for the Blue Line Ladies. Do we have somebody from the Blue Line Ladies here that acts as a spokes? Perfect. Seeing a few, I'd just, will you just tell us a little bit again about what the Blue Line Ladies do? Thank you.
Sure. Hi.
Hi.
So the Blue Line Ladies, it was a nonprofit that we started last year to help raise money for local police departments. We wanted to be able to get them equipment and stuff that that the departments didn't have the funding for, but that the officers and deputies would need. And so last year we were able to donate to Weber County Sheriff's Office a bunch of plate carriers that help provide protection from rifle rounds and shotgun rounds. And this year, thanks to this donation, along with other fundraisers we've had, we are in the process of donating at the end of this month and next month to Davis, Kaysville, and Roy departments.
So there are more areas that are being benefiting from it. Thank you very much. Well, we have for you today, and I'm going to come, I know it's not maybe appropriate, Fatima, but I'm going to go down and make the announcement from down here. Is that okay?
Oh, Lydia Hebden.
So, the Blue Line Ladies this year was our major benefactor of this, and it's our privilege to present them with the real check, but a check that y'all can see for $10,000. Why we're here, instead of going back and forth, no, Stetson.
Got that big check right there.
Our next, and if it's okay, this is probably not quite right, but our next group that's going to benefit from this is our Ogden Musical Theater. Cassie, you've got some very distinguished guests with you. Is Mari going to speak, or can you just tell us what this organization? It's our Ogden Musical Theater.
Yes, so this is Ogden Musical Theater, which is our live theater that we've started 2 years ago to have live musical theater back at Perry's Egyptian Theater, back on that stage. So part of this funds will go to Kids Act Up, which is a part of Ogden Musical Theater. And what Kids Act Up is, it's a 2-week camp held in the summer. So it's the last 2 weeks of June. And last year we had 45 kids. We started with 35, then went to 45. We scholarship part of those children so that everyone can participate that wants to and has a desire. And then what they do is they learn about musical, they learn about musical theater, they learn about auditions, they learn about voice, dance, choreography, all different kinds of things. And then we do a small kids musical and we perform that at the end of the 2 weeks. And it's just, we did Jungle Book last year and it was just a huge success. And these kids are thriving. And what's important about this is that you have children that come in and that, shouldn't get emotional, that may have been being bullied at school, and their parents tell you that they have found a voice, and how wonderful it has been for them to feel like they have something that they're participating in and that they're actually shining in, instead of feeling like they're the odd person out. So anytime you can make a child feel that way, that they have talent and that they're needed and wanted, that's just a plus. Then these children have the opportunity to audition for Ogden Musical Theater, our full musical theater that happens in August or July, August. So that's what Kids Act Up is, in Ogden Musical Theater. This year is Peter Pan, so I encourage you guys to all put that on your calendar. We open Peter Pan on July 25th, and we'll run that for 3 weeks. And Jim Christian will be our director. And with me today is Mari Tarbox. She'll come up. She is our artistic director, and she has helped me with this wonderful lift and her knowledge. Thank you for Mari and all her knowledge. And then Pam Higgison, she is with us also, and she is our board chair for OMT, and she is a leader, true and true, and just directs this board and puts us in the right direction and makes sure that this keeps growing in the community, and that it's not just a one-time summer thing, but we have such big expectations and plans for the future. So these two ladies, if they want to say anything, you're welcome to.
Oh, go ahead, Mari. Well, I just want to say I did Kids Act Up years and years and years ago, and I saw the benefit of that, and then with the community. And then when Cassie asked me, and some of you commissioners asked me to come on board, I was really excited. I was hesitant just because I knew the work that it was going to be, but I was really excited to be able to pull from our community the talent that we have here, and it has been amazing, but we couldn't do it without you. We couldn't. So thanks.
Well, I just wanted to express my appreciation. I have a long time been an Ogden resident and of Weber County as well, and my children participated in Kids Act Up when they had it up at the university. And I just think that the opportunity for Ogden to have a semi-professional acting company on the stage of the Peary Egyptian Theater is a must. And I want to build it for perpetuity and hope that the board feels the same, and I think they do. We've got a great group of people, so thank you so much.
Commissioners, do you have any comments before we do that? I have one thing that just to summarize for you ladies representing your respective groups. You know, we focus as a community, or as really a world, pretty much on RTS. What's RTS? Well, in my lifetime, the RTS focus has changed from arts to sports. And notwithstanding, because we have the number 3 ranked football team in the country right here at our own local Weber State. But I would argue that we have the number 1 ranked theater group, theater folks in the country, with making a difference in the world, starting right here in Ogden, Utah. So as a commission, we thank you for making a difference in the RTS that we love, the arts, especially starting with the youth and all the other people. Thank you so much for your contribution. We'd like to present you with a check today for $5,000, and if you come up and give us a...
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Pam. Commissioner Ebert would like has a couple couple things to say.
So really quick before everyone leaves, I remember when there was a discussion about bringing Mari on, and someone was super excited and says, I have a meeting, and I said, you know, you want us to come? You want the commission to be part of this? She goes, no, 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 no. We don't want you scaring them off. Let me go talk to them first and get them really committed to this, and then you can come and say whatever. Because I know from the very beginning we had to get the right people around the table to put this together to keep it moving forward, and this is an amazing team. My Jim touched base on it. It's people who are committed to this community and to building the arts, and we have the right people around the table, and that's why this is successful. We can get any performance and any actors, you know, on stage, but it's the people who put it together who are committed to it. So thank you very much. And it's easy for us. You know, this is easy for us. You do all the work. So thank you very much. We appreciate it. And if I could just touch base on the Blue Line ladies, you know, we've seen you guys here a couple times, and we love to participate in this, but I don't think we see everything you do behind the scenes. And I've attended one or two other fundraisers and just seen the excitement, the enthusiasm, the commitment. I went bowling. I was horrendous at bowling, but I had a great time because there was so much commitment and excitement by this organization, the people committed to take care of our law enforcement community. So again, these are groups, charities that are really making a difference and building our community, but probably the biggest thing is they're bringing people around the table committed to this community. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
I also want to thank you for your efforts and what you do for our community. You know, we run government up here. You influence people's lives in positive ways that we can't even measure. And we want to thank you for your efforts. It's greatly, greatly appreciated. And we're grateful for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for this great gift.
Thank you. All right, Commissioners, we're going to move to item number 2 on our presentations. Item number 2, Ms. Hallisey, would you come to the microphone and tell us about the charity basket contest, a little more about that, please? Just the
Good morning.
details behind it.
We decided this year to give all of Weber County the opportunity to participate with us in our charity golf tournament. And so we sent out a flyer inviting offices, departments to participate by putting together a basket that could be raffled or auctioned off at our tournament. We had some great baskets. The participation is great, and it helps to add more money to our charity, so we appreciate it very much.
So there was a contest.
Right.
What does the contest winner get?
The contest winner gets a pizza party in their office.
A pizza party. Well, every contest has to have a winner.
Right.
So, Ms. Halsey, you did
And
a
all
lot of
the
this.
rest are losers.
No, they all did wonderful.
They were all wonderful, and as a matter of fact, we had some amazing baskets, and it was really, really hard to pick one. But this year, we chose to have the winner be the Recorder Surveyor's Office. They donated a canoe and a cooler with supplies in it, towels, everything. It was great.
Will you give the Recorder Surveyor a round of applause, please? Thank you, Shelley, and thank you to all the departments that participated, and we appreciate that. Ms. Hallisey?
Did we not have another contest, a Halloween contest recently?
And I thought there were some prizes awarded for that. Who won the Halloween, the choreographed costumes? Who was that again? Oh, that was the commissioners for our shark dance. Who does the best shark dance? Right there, he's the best shark dance. The only reason I bring this up is to what Commissioner Harvey's point is. We have such amazing staff departments and offices here that are participating in so many different things. And whether it's helping us with our charity or doing events like a Halloween costume party or Easter egg hunts, this little community we have for the Weber County employees in these offices have really got involved and have grown together, and hopefully feel like the culture of Weber County is starting to change to a place where people want to work, they enjoy coming to work, and they enjoy the environment that they work in. And I've seen that with some of these things we've had lately. So again, thank you to those putting them together, whether it's HR or the commissioner staff. You guys are doing an awesome job.
Our team is awesome. Thank you. Well, you know, speaking of being charitable, we have one more thing that we should address, which is item number 3 on our agenda. Ms. Hallisey, will you come back up and talk about yet another?
I forgot about this most important thing. We are doing our annual food drive. We're starting today or bring stuff in tomorrow. We'll accept turkeys, hams, any kind of food. We're going to take it to Catholic Community Services to make sure everyone in our community is able to have a great Thanksgiving. So I will put these in everyone's boxes and make sure that the word is spread.
Go ahead and get those out. We'd love that. And anything that we can do to help that great organization, the Catholic Community Services, would be great. What a wonderful local organization. Commissioner Ebert.
And we can also, for those of you who may be listening or may be in the business community, we can become a drop-off point. It's not just for employees of Weber County, but if you're collecting items for your business and you're looking for a place to drop it off to make sure it ends up at Catholic Community Services, you can bring your items by the commission office and put it in our box so that we win.
Yeah, no, we're not going to win. One of the things I failed to mention before we leave item F, for those of you who would like to contribute financially, not to just one of these charities, but directly to the Taylor family, there are 2 ways to do so. One is through a GoFundMe account, and another is through an America First Credit Union, our local credit union account. And so those are just, I just wanted to make that available to the public. Commissioners, will now move to item G, our consent items. I'll read those now. Our request for approval of warrants 1587 through and including 1596 and 433,650 through and including 433,825 in the amount of $1,310,802.01. Item 2 is a request for approval of purchase orders in the amount of $327,709.79. Item 3 is a request for the minutes of our commission meeting held on October 30th, 2018. Item 4 is a request for approval of AHC payments to U.S. Bank in the amount of $152,882.39 for purchasing card transactions made through the billing cycle ending October 25th, 2018. Item 5 is a request for approval of the new business licenses. Item 6 is a request from the Weber County Sheriff's Office for approval to surplus office chairs. Commissioners, I believe Commissioner Jenkins, you had a question on one?
Yes, I'd like to remove from the PO list RMT equipment for $160,004.85 for a week, so we can deal with that.
It's been requested that we remove one item off the which one is it? Off the warrants or purchase order?
Purchase orders.
Purchase order. If you'll take care of that, then with that, would you make unless, do you have any questions, Commissioner Eber? With that, I'll entertain a motion.
I'd make a motion that we approve them as modified.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve as modified. Call for the vote. All in favor? Oh, excuse me. Before we go to a vote, Mr. Hatch, you got a busy day today. Would you mind commenting on that and anything else you feel would be pertinent with elections?
Absolutely. Happy Election Day to everybody. It is a great day, and things are hopping. We have already surpassed, as of yesterday, we already surpassed the turnout that we had in 2014. The main driver of voter turnout is what's on the ballot, and we have a lot of things on the ballot. A very long ballot with some pretty exciting races and propositions and amendments. But the other thing that has increased turnout is that we are vote by mail. So we surpassed 51% voter turnout as of this morning, and we've got a boatload of ballots in there that we're processing still. So we may very well get up to 6,000 or to 60,000 ballots cast, which is about a 60% voter turnout today. And with that, when I'm done here, I will probably sneak out so I can go answer phones, because there are lots of calls. As far as the purchase order and warrant register, the 52%, the $328,000 for 12 POs, 52% of that amount, or $171,000, was for the library, and that's for snow removal equipment, and I believe that's the one that Commissioner Jenkins was referring to. 17%, or $56,000, is for the paramedic fund, and that's to purchase life packs. 11%, or $35,000, is for recreation, and that will go to the Riverdale Pavilion roof. And 10%, or $34,000, is for the sheriff, and that will buy ballistic vests and plates. As far as checks, we issued 186 checks this week for $1.3 million. 39% of that amount, or $514,000, was for road construction and corridor preservation, and that was mostly on 4700 West, but there was also a little bit on 12th Street. 15% of that amount, or $198,000, were ramp awards that were given to Far West City. 8%, or $103,000, is for the jail, and that goes to food, utilities, and medical services for inmates. 6%, or $79,000, is for 5 road construction projects, but mostly it was for Skyline Drive and some 2550 South. And then lastly, 5%, or $69,000, is for our roads department, and that is to purchase asphalt and road striping. And that is everything I have. That's it.
Thank you, Ricky. We appreciate that. Commissioners, we have a motion and a second. Are there any questions that were coming from Mr. Hatch's statement? None being recognized, then I'll entertain a vote. All in favor? Aye. Aye. The motion carries. Thank you, and thank you, Mr. Hatch. We appreciate your service. Thank you.
Hey, I would like to make a comment.
Okay, go ahead.
You know, I had Mr. Hatch come out to the Lions Club the other night and speak to us on elections and our local election and how mail-in ballots are handled. And I must admit, I was absolutely amazed by what he told us and showed us, and the level that we go to make sure that every person that wants to vote gets a chance to vote, and that their vote is secured and it's kept safe and it's counted and represented appropriately. I was amazed by it, and I just want you to know that we owe Ricky a debt of gratitude for performing his job to such high levels in this county. He just does a wonderful job, and I was way impressed by it.
You know, thank you very much for that, Commissioner. I absolutely attest to that, Ricky. It was in coming into this 2 years ago, absolutely amazing, just the confidence that I felt as one who wanted to run for office in that process, and how great that election team is, and how thorough, how just specific each one is. And it's just how technology and how you, with your leadership and staff, have decided to embrace that technology and make it fantastic for everybody in Weber County. It's no wonder why Weber County leads the state in efficiency for voting. So we appreciate your service and what you do and your team. Thank you.
You know, one more thing. I had a neighbor come over the other day and said, I just got a notice from the Weber County that my vote didn't count. Can you imagine? I said, I've voted here every year for so many years, and they've questioned my signature on that. And he said, I can't believe it. And he was kind of complaining. And finally I says, well, hold on. That should speak to the level they work to make sure that that ballot is your ballot. I says, apparently you changed your signature enough that the person that looked at that questioned. I said, so it's pretty simple. Just contact them. They'll work you through it. And it's that simple. Just do what they said. But you ought to be grateful that they care that much about your vote, that they would question whether that's you or not. That was wonderful.
That's good to hear. Yeah, we sent those out, and they have a week and a half to be able to fix those.
That's fantastic.
We have such a great team. I would put our team against any elections team across the country. And I've met a lot of folks that across the country, and we just have our elections director, from him and every staff member, is just phenomenal. Really, really do a good job. Thank you. That's very nice.
Thank you, Ricky. Thank you. Commissioners, if you're okay, we'll move to item number H, our action items on our agenda. The first one is a request for approval of an indigent defense contract by and between Weber County and Rebecca Voimus. Mr. Brian Barron.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning. Excuse me, hold on. Would you just ask that question or say that again? Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
Thank you. Last month, we had one of our public defenders in the juvenile court who gave us notice that she was giving up her contract, has a child at home with some health issues that she needs to stay home with. So unfortunately, she's a very dedicated attorney, and that's a big loss for our county. But we posted the opening with HR. They advertised it for us. We put together a committee to evaluate the candidates, and they interviewed several. And their recommendation is that we hire Rebecca Voimus for this position. It's a position in the juvenile court doing parental defense. And Rebecca has a lot of experience as a prosecutor, but she also worked for a year for DCFS. So that's going to be some very relevant and helpful experience in taking on this position.
Very good.
Any questions for me?
Commissioners, any questions for Mr. Barron? None being recognized, I'll entertain a motion.
Approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second on this contract, indigent defense contract for Weber County and Rebecca Voimus. Call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Barron.
Thank you.
Mr. Grover, item number 2 is a request for approval of a resolution of the Weber County Commissioners and Weber County appointing one member to the Western Weber Planning Commission.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
The Planning Commission for Western Weber is made up of 7 members, and we, as you mentioned, we do have one vacancy, and we've noticed it, we put that out there, and we've only got one person that's applied. We actually had 2, but one person wasn't within unincorporated Weber County, so we couldn't accept that. So Andrew Favero is the one who has submitted an application, and he has previously served on the Planning Commission and done a very nice job when he served at that time. So we present that name before you.
Very good. Do you have a recommendation?
Yeah, I think he would do a great job. He has the experience, and he could jump in and get going quickly. So
very good. Commissioners, are there any questions for Mr. Grover on the appointment of a person or Mr. Favero to the Weber County Planning Commission, or the Western Weber Planning Commission?
What's the length of the term left?
So on his term, he's going to be picking it up, and his term would be expiring June 30th of 2022.
Okay, so all right, that's the only question I had, Chair.
Very good. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve Resolution
53.
appointing Mr. Favero to the Western Weber Planning Commission for the rest of the term that was vacated by Mark Whaley.
Commissioners, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second to approve Mr. Favero, Andrew Favero, to the Western Weber Planning Commission. All in favor?
Commissioner Ebert,
Oh, sorry, thank you.
Commissioner Jenkins.
Aye.
And Chair Harvey.
Aye, thank you. That resolution 53 carries. Thank you. Mr. Anderson, item number 3 on our agenda is a request for approval of a contract modification number 1 on the 3500 West Reconstruction Phase 2 project by and between Weber County and Stanley Consultants.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning. Excuse me.
Good morning.
I'm on strike. I'm not telling you good morning. I'm saying good morning 50 times.
Okay. You are too.
Before you, we have the last change order we will see, the contract modification on 3500 West. The project is officially closed out. This is just the remaining paperwork in order to get these guys paid. It's a very small amount, but we should not be seeing any more of these on 3500 West because it is closed out.
We're done.
We are done.
That's awesome. That's great. Hopefully that ends up being a wonderful improvement for the people out in that west part of our county. Commissioners, any questions for Mr. Anderson on item 3? None being heard, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
A
Second.
motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you very much, Mr. Anderson. Item number 4, and while you're here, why don't you move on to that, which is a request for approval of a release agreement by and between Weber County and Dominion Energy for the repaving of the road that will be reconstructed next year. Can you give us the detail on that, Mr. Anderson?
As you're aware, Dominion Energy has been in the area for quite some time, upgrading their gas line. They came in before we were to come through and do our full reconstruct approximately next year, next spring. As they were finishing their trenches, we initially required them to do the full depth of asphalt. That's a very busy road. A lot of trucks come up and down it. So that was what they initially said they would do. Because we were able to get the funds to do a full reconstruct, we told them, if you just patch it for now, even though it'll be a little bit bumpy for a small amount of months, can we get a reimbursement for that? So this is what you see before you. I believe it's approximately $100,000 that Dominion will be paying the county. We'll in turn use those dollars to help with our pavement of that project when we do it next spring. We thought it was a win-win for both Dominion Energy and the county.
Very good. Questions for Mr. Anderson on this item? None being heard, entertain a motion.
So moved.
A motion.
I'll second with a question, sorry.
Go ahead.
So 100,000 is a fairly round number. How did we come to that 100,000? Is that going to cover the costs of this, or did we just, I mean, 100,000 doesn't sound like we took a bid on what it costed.
No, they did an estimate. Now I said 100. I don't know if it's exactly dead on or not. I think it's plus or minus. I'm not sure what the exact amount is, but what they did is they did evaluate it and said, if we're going to do just a small patch, I believe it's just 2 or 3 inches of asphalt versus the full depth section, what reimbursement would you give to the county? So no, they did an analysis on all the trenches, the widths, the lengths, and got that number.
Thank you, Jared. That's the only question I had, Chair.
Very good, thank you. We have a motion and a second on this item number 4. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Item number 5, Mr. Anderson, is a request for approval of a contract by and between Weber County and the Department of the Air Force for a lease addressing the monitoring wells that are currently in use by the Air Force. Go ahead and tell us about that, Mr.
Now, this has been in place before I came on board. I've been here almost 8 years. So this agreement or leasing agreement has been in place before then. It's a piece of property we have. It's, I believe it's, I got to get my directions right, southeast of Riverdale in that area out there, just below Hill Air Force Base. And they have a couple of monitoring wells that they're required to monitor and pull samples from on a yearly basis. And so when that agreement was set up, then they needed to lease the property to be able to do that. And I believe it's about $1,000 a year they pay to the county to lease that property to do that work.
Very good, very good. Commissioners, any questions on item number 5? None being heard, entertain a motion.
So moved.
We have a motion
Second to approve.
and a second. Call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Anderson.
Thank you.
Item number I, Commissioners, is our Commissioner comments. We have been inundated by attorneys here in our audience, or the attorney staff. There's a reason for that. Should we sing our... No, we shouldn't, but thanks for asking. And I appreciate the distraction.
It's always good when I can make Commissioner Jenkins snort. I like him laughing.
You know, there are 3 stalls that we enjoy as a commission, and one of those stalls has been given up for, we call it the Stall of Fame. Parks right up next to the door. And where a person in a particular office is recognized by their colleagues as doing a fantastic job for the whole office. And this month's Stall of Fame is presented to Miss Kim Lee. Will you give her a round of applause? There's a microphone, Miss Lee, there's a microphone provided for you. If you'll just pull it down and...
Come on, tell us all your secrets, or at least Chris's secrets.
That's okay, but you won't kill Chris. Chris, would you mind coming up and just giving a couple accolades for Miss Lee?
Yeah, in fact, I did not prepare a speech. I thought Kim would be excited to give a speech, but she's pretending to be shy. When Shelley suggested that we nominate someone from our office, it took me all of a fraction of a second to realize that Kim was the person that we wanted to nominate for this. She's just not only a fantastic employee, but an even better person, and we just really couldn't get by in our office without her. It sounds cliche, but it's absolutely true. She's just critical to the function of our office, so we couldn't be happier with Kim. And do you want to, am I cutting into your time? Okay. And Chris, did you not prepare some things as to why we selected Kim, or was that? Well, I don't know if that's
I would
part of
much
it or
rather
not.
have it come from you folks.
Anyway.
Would you mind going over those, Mr. Crockett?
Yeah,
You
right.
would mind?
So when I was thinking of putting something together for Kim, I thought it would be good to ask Dave Wilson, because Dave and Kim have worked together for so long and have a great friendship, and I thought it would be nice to have him pay that tribute and give him that opportunity. And this is what he said. Kim is the hub of our office in so many ways. Her official position is office manager. She supervises all staff positions with the exception of victim witness personnel.